Battle control initialized.
Hey people, 5aces here, and if there were to be a top 3 list of things I hate, it would be people who make pointless top 3 lists, bad transitions, and not getting closure. And we're indeed not getting any closure on RAGL yet, despite the season being officially over. Why is that? Because Masters are slackers, including myself, because this is the first time in forever that I've delayed 2 matchups. Alright, with that out of the way, we are going to introduce one of the matches that had been delayed for quite some time, but it's finally here. And it's back to kick. This match is back to kick some tail. Let's see what this is all about. This is Blackened, spawning in the right-hand position, the eastern front, as the Ukraine, as per usual. And his opponent, Orb, spawning as Ukraine as well, so there's going to be a mirror match at hands. And we're immediately seeing... That was a rack skip by Orb, interesting. As he... Yeah, I don't think I need to introduce these players any further. Orb has been featured on my channel countless times, as has Blackened. And I think those are really close in their skill level, as evidenced by the RAGL standings right now, where both of them are pretty much, I don't know. Lorry Driver is the uncontested top right now, but Blackened and Orb both up there. And it only depends on, it only hinges on the amount of matches they've delayed, which for both of them might be 2 for all I know. Anyway, we're gonna see how the rack skip pays off here. So far nothing major has happened, and I don't know, Orb has opted out on forfeiting the early oil derricks, which is just gonna give him the extra little income disadvantage in the early game, but double ref, that's a weird start. Okay. He has, however, scouted, which is, you know, that's beneficial. Knowing the positioning of the enemy structures is just so helpful whenever you're going for a, you know, let's say a tech rush, and then you just deploy a couple V2s somewhere close to the enemy base. That might come in handy. He hasn't scouted the weapons factory, however, but thing is, Blackened is really behind on the Econ 8 ball here, and Orb is gonna have, this little detachment of grenadiers. He's not gonna have it any longer, and this has just been a straight up APC rush. Needs to make it work. If he wants this to pay off, he needs to inflict some serious damage. Right now he could, because Orb has nothing but a couple of rifles stationed here. Also, the engineer has been super late due to the weird build order that he's gone for. Maybe that's what the whoops was about. You know, just going for rack skip into double ref. That just gives you no pressure. It gives you a nice early income spike that you can't even spend, because your opponent is gonna be... Yeah, your opponent is gonna have some field presence. You're busy just trying to spend here. What is this? The delayed drop here. Okay, so he figures he doesn't want to go in with the APC, he'd rather cause some ruckus with the APC, I guess, and draw the attention and the fire elsewhere, while simultaneously going with the Grens. Going in with the Grens. I mean, he hasn't scouted, so Blackened doesn't know anything about positioning of the power plants, which is usually the prime target for Grenadiers, because they delete power plants oh so quickly. Yeah, weird build for both, and the eco scaling is ramping up slower than it needs to be for both of them. I don't know what this is about. We're gonna take a look at the econ tab. 17k over 16k assets here. Just put an Orb that extra little bit behind here. Blackened is up to 5 harvesters now. Now he's got his eco pretty much where he wants it to be. Maybe 1 extra harvester. Oh, in goes the APC with the... Oh, he lost the engineer as well. Yikers. So again, no field presence here. And a bit unlucky that he was just grazing the army. But he hasn't scouted. And he has left his APC unattended for quite some bit. So yeah. I mean, he's up in the eco department, where Orb has just now gone up to 5 harvesters. And keep in mind, Orb doesn't have anything back home. He doesn't have a defensive structure queued up, so if those Grens were to go in, they would have a field day. I think Orb might even be forced to pull a harvester here. So yeah, he's trying for some light harassment, but I think Blackened is ready for it. He has the double rack, so even if this rack gets sniped, he's still gonna have infantry coming out on the fields. That's a curious sell order on the flame tower. Oh, one of the harvesters getting really low. Gonna escape for now. That's a very good, yeah, very good micromanagement, as I was expecting from both of those players. Just keeping their boys alive. That extra little bit. That was really clutch by Blackened. He should put his second harvester back online. First needs to get patched up a bit. And I think this might be... Let's check over to the production tab. Both going for an expansion here, or for a Tesla coil. And Blackened, curiously enough, doesn't have any soldiers queued up. He's now sniping the Oil Derrick, which is not that bad a trade, all things considered, but he could have done considerably more damage if he had just gone in. Oh, nice. 2 dying to the friendly fire explosion there. That's that. There's an extra engineer for Orb. He has retained it. Yeah, but just sniping the power plants would have been so juicy. Just 2 volleys from 3 grins, kill off an entire power plant in like 2 seconds. Because the rate of fire is pretty significant. So yeah, this is gonna be a ballsy base push. And I think the MCV of Warp needs to find a parking spot. That's, you know, valet parking. So, the valet parking driver is trying to find an angle here. Trying to park it. Oh, he's found an angle perfectly nestled in behind the trees. And this immediately has to sound the retreat, has to be the signal to sound retreat for Blackened. Yeah. Blackened is being pushed back here. Needs to reinforce with a couple tanks. Needs the front lines and maybe also tech up. But it's really hard to get a tech in when your opponent is pressuring you like this and your income is just starting to run low. Flame Tower as well. I guess he's trying for a second Tesla coil here. Yeah. Okay, here's the Tesla coil from Blackened. That's very good. Ore trucks going deep again, into the deep end, into the fray! Charge! That's not where he wants to have them, honestly. So yeah, that was a bit questionable. But the Tesla coil survives for now. Probably gonna take out the heavy tank as well. So all things considered, not that bad here. Oh wow! Ha! The double zap. Double Tesla coil zap. They've got such insane range. It's actually disgusting sometimes. Yeah, I think Blackened can overwhelm this and break the turtle. Oh no, he is on low power again. He has done it yet again. Not like this, Blackened, not like this. I think what Blackened would have needed to do is micromanage the flame tower to just kill the barracks, because they have wood armor, and yeah, flame tower is notoriously good against wood armor. This is just such a defensive foothold. I would not engage into this if I were Blackened. I guess he's just trying to snipe the Tesla coil at this stage of the game. He needs to make something work. Oh no! Oh no! The heavy tank mis-microed, misfiring, and probably, I think he was trading with the heavy tank here. And trading blows just never works in your favor here, because he's still gonna have his ore patch camped. And yeah, he needs to go for greener pastures also. Orb, you magnificent bastards. You know, just sneaking away an Oil Derrick in the middle of this engagement. Super useful. He also managed to capture a Rax. Not that significant in the grand scheme of things, but you know, it's just for show. 10 style points for Orb here. And there's gonna be a huge juicy ore patch for Orb to harvest. He's gonna reap the rewards here. Meanwhile, Blackened is struggling with the eco because he's not having his front ore field mined at the time present, and he's also not having a real expansion up top. So he's basically, what the hell, isn't like 3 harvesters if this can be considered a mining patch. So yeah, double Tesla coil. This should have, I don't know, should have been in a better fortified place here. Radar Dome coming online for Blackened though. Orb already got his dome online and he's gonna stop producing V2s, stop pumping them out. That's a really smart tech choice at this stage of the game. Just getting rid of the Tesla coils, also having a single Yak online would be so beneficial for either player. Blackened has done it again. He is on low power. Buddy, you need to like work something out with your electrics company. The utility bill is killing him here. And he's got a little detachment, but I doubt he can fight Orb's forces, especially considering there's going to be an MCV rolling in. The V2 shot, not all that impactful, but I think it's going to be enough. There's just not going to be enough mass here for Blackened. Yeah. He's going to get wiped off the board here on the top side, and on the eastern front, we've got the first V2 chiming in a couple shots. Here is an airfield for Blackened. Alright, alright. What's cooking, good looking? He's got an airfield online. I mean, are the power bombs even gonna come into play? I highly doubt it, because this game looks like it's gonna be over very soon. Either way, like, it's still anyone's game. Blackened can still take it, but he's super far behind. Oh, what is he doing there? The heavies are just trying to go in. Oh, what are you V2s doing, buddy? Just move him back, put him on hold fire, and only fire them when ordered to. Yeah, okay. At least he's got the Tesla coil there. And oh my goodness, what is this? What the hell? I mean, not that the Yak wouldn't have maybe killed them anyway, but those V2s were just a bit too brave for their own comfort. And just like that, GG. A bit of disappointing end to a fantastic game that has started very interestingly, with both players opting for a really off build. Maybe just mistiming their build queues or whatever. Anyway, this is only gonna be round 2. We are gonna see each other in round 1. We're gonna see each other in round 2 with some clickbait action.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
Hey yo bros, what's up? 5 Aces Army represent. Before we start the video, remember to smash that like button, fondle that like button, caress that like button, give it a snuggle, give it a little snuggle, you know, just pound that subscribe button, and remember to support me on Patreon, you know.
Alright, enough of the clickbait. Back to the action. We're gonna have to see a dog opener by Blackened, double doggo. That was a pretty uncommon build. I mean, on pit fight, you're expecting your opponent to go for infantry, so yeah, go for infantry or go home. Because why would you just go for a war factory rush and forfeit the juicy Derrick? Your opponent is gonna have a hospital as well to his name, and the hospital is not insignificant because it just gives you line of sight in the middle. Pretty good. This map, by the way, oh, the engineer dogs can leap over cliffs. Do it, buddy. Force fire him to leap over the cliff. Seriously, I would have loved to have the clickbait like the dog jumps over cliff, question mark, question mark, question mark, what the fuck, hacks, clickbait. But unfortunately not in the cards here. Oh, that would have been so juicy. So yeah, what I was about to say is this map is fundamentally unbalanced. The reason for that being this church here. If you destroy the church, like MLG pro tip, you can squeeze an MCV here and get a pretty good positioning. You kill those 2 buildings, then you get a pretty good positioning on your refinery. And on the southern side, I have not found a good spot. Maybe this house? I don't know, but I've never got it to work. It never really fit in there. So if you can fit the MCV in there, but then you can't have space for a refinery usually, depending on how fast the gems are growing. But hey, yeah, just minor details here. I don't think the creator of the map, which is by the way so scared for what I remember, I doubt the creator of the map intended for all those, or accounted for all those buildings being blown up. You know, the demolition experts of the Soviets. Oh, speaking of which, faction check, Soviets and Soviets. Yep, we've got a Ukraine mirror at our hands again. Leads me to believe the odds are slim that this is going to be occurring twice in a row, so I think this is just both people's comfort pick. So, yeah, or going for a super standard war factory opener, 2 harvesters, something I'd like to do as well. And the cheek, yeah, I like keeping the kennel. It only costs you 10 power because it has 1 light bulb in there for the dogs. Because, you know, you never know when the need for a dog might arise. Maybe your opponent is allies and is using lots of spies, stuff like that. Dogs can come in handy. Asterisk. Or your opponent is Brits and is going for phase transports. I mean, it's unlikely, but still not as bad as it sounds. Alright, I've recently won a game. I think it was even on stream. Oh, nice! Blackened just pulling back the wounded rifle infantry there. It's gonna heal up due to the hospital. Just look at the health bar regrowing. It's mesmerizing. Alrighty, it's almost there, buddy. You're on 70% health. Don't worry, they'll get you out. I promise. I promise you're not gonna die in the fields here. May or may not be sarcastic here. Good eco opener for both players, both playing it safe. 5 harvesters. This is the super standard build. This is nothing out of the ordinary. Oh, and we're seeing the nice, we're seeing the turret bug. So the turret of the flak, it's like this small pellet shooting turret, is still primed on the enemy infantry. So it's just super nice to abuse. You know, you always know the positioning of the enemy army, for those of you who are unaware. And this time around, we're seeing an interesting deviation in builds here. Blackened has opted for 3 refineries and 6 harvesters. which is pretty much the maximum you want to have as saturation in your main. And it's gonna delay everything, because look at this. 5, oh no, it's also on 6 now, but he has opted for 5 harvesters into a tank, has Orb. And Orb does now have the additional pushing power of a tank. And a single tank in the early game can be so influential. Now, coupled with a mobile flag for scouting, this is amazing. He's in a good spot here. And if Orb can wipe the army, which I doubt he's gonna have difficulties with. You know what? Oh yeah, he's seen it. Very good. He's immediately pushing back the entire army. And this means that the flag truck can go to town. Pretty good. That's already, you know, that's already a pretty significant win. Forcing your opponent's infantry to move and forcing them to take bad engagements is usually, yeah, usually worth it. The MCV is going to get deployed regardless, so I guess we're going to have just a bit of a standoff here. He's trying to cut off those 2 bases. What the hell? Oh, it's not scouted though. So the Tesla Coil is both still unrevealed and... Oh, the MCV! MCV is being caught off guard, so Tesla Coil is both being unrevealed and hasn't taken a shot yet, so he didn't know. Oh, that's brilliant. Orb taking back the hospital. And Jesus, his MCV survives on such low health. It's like 10%. A single Yak straight would have taken it out at this point. Nice. Orb reclaiming the hospital, which means he's gonna have control over the area. Oh, Flame Tower coming online. Crushing the hopes of dreams of this infantry squad. The hopes and dreams of taking out another MCV there. Yeah. Ouch! That's not the greatest early game for Orbs, for Blackened so far. And Orb is in a good position. He's got so much infantry mass. And we need to see double Flame Towers at least from Blackened. Where's it pinging there? Oh, his harvesters are being a bit special. I see what's happening. Yikers. Yeah, that's pretty bad indeed. And Blackened's MCV is gonna take a chunk of damage for pretty much free. As the army is just so much bigger for Orb. He's gonna wipe the entire infantry forces without much retaliation. Oh, and there's a Tesla Coil deployed. This is just the worst timing for a Tesla Coil. Just costs a lot of money. It's gonna get eaten up by the infantry blob. At least he took a heavy tank into the red, you know, so there's that. But Orb is gonna patch it up because he's a good player. So, bad positioning for Blackened here. Yeah, he's trying to escape with the MCV. He's a... Attack is the best defense, you know. Offense is the best defense. He's just trying to sneak maybe in here, maybe... You know, just deploying a Tesla Coil over the ridge would be good. Denying the mining at least for a bit. Before the army can rotate. And speaking of rotations, there's gonna be a big chunk of the army of Orb that is just gonna come in and go for a flank. He's going for the long con here. And unlike, you know, unlike Orb, Blackened doesn't have any spotters. Spotter infantry is super important here on these maps. Oh, wow, just the game sense prevailing. He knows Orb might have a soldier there. I also tend to just position soldiers here, because it's just such an easy flanking route, and if your army gets caught off guard and out of position, rotation takes forever. What the hell? Oh, I'm not sure about this. There's a Flame Tower. What is this going to accomplish? He needed a Tesla Coil. The Flame Tower would be better served like in the front lines. Maybe on the eco patch. There's a V2 launcher, let's see. It needs to make a couple good shots here. Land a couple good shots, and the missiles need to be good. They need to land dead center in the middle of this blob in order for him to have a shot at not losing too much. Oh, the Tesla Coil is being sacrificed again. You know, this was just backwards. Blackened did this backwards. He should have positioned the Tesla Coil here. He could have sniped a couple ore trucks without Orb realizing. And this would have been easy to hold with an army. You know, his army was big enough. He had the V2 launchers. So I really question this play. This was not the best line of play he could have made here. And on the other side of the map, on the northeastern front, look at what's brewing. Winter is coming. That's the only thing I'm gonna say here. 6 heavy tanks, lots of infantry, and it's not only rifles. It's like a 50-50 mixture. This is lethal. We are in lethal range here. Yikes. What an army. And even if a couple infantry get shaved off by the Tesla Coil, it doesn't matter a single bit. Finally, we're seeing a Tesla Coil, and it's immediately being answered by a Flame Tower from Orb. Oh, I don't like the play. He also should have just deployed a wall, maybe. But he couldn't decide what to fire on, what the hell. Oh, Blackened, this is so bad. He's not looking good anymore, Blackened is falling apart. And deafening sound of the engagement is on here. A couple heavy tanks going down. So I think on this front, on this end of the front here, Blackened has actually traded up, interestingly enough. He's just had the right mixture, he's had good shots with the V2s. But on the other side, he just lost. Okay, he killed an ore truck, but he's lost the engagement there. So base push plus infantry, he doesn't have a barracks to reinforce. So bad positioning for Blackened here again. I don't know, he should have just deployed the first Tesla coil where it went. And Orb is having a couple idle harvesters as well. So not like everything is peaches and roses here. Oh no, another Tesla coil being deployed, that's it. And now those two V2s need to do all the heavy lifting. What is the Yak doing? Yikes! This was just a free giveaway, you know? Blackened deciding, I'm gonna do a free Yak giveaway, and Orb is the only contender. So, well, it's Yak for Yak. But this is gonna still, with a stationary position like this, it's gonna favor Orb so much. Two harvesters have gone down to the Tesla, so just not the best micro. And there is gonna be, oh, the infantry flank. This army never got cleaned up. And that was what sealed the deal here. And Blackened just being methodically picked apart in 2 games in a row. I didn't see this coming, I was expecting a 1-1 to be honest. But it's been a fantastic series regardless, well played by both. Especially, you know, Orb has been a bit lucky with some of his engagements there, but yeah, Blackened also making a couple crucial mistakes. Like game 1, moving the V2s into the range of the Teslas was just, yeah, that was game ending. Anyway, that was a fantastic series. We're gonna be back with some more RA, but I'm also gonna cast some more of the improved TD, because we've got ourselves a new balance patch out there, and it seems to fix most of the issues. So I'm really hyped for casting more on that. And also, don't forget about Shattered Paradise. Next Shoutcast is gonna be showcasing the Scrin faction. No, sorry, the Cabal faction. There we go. Anyway, that's it for clickbait. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. 5 Aces out.
Battle control terminated.